Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at a very nice team here with Mewtwo in the Open Master League. And this is my SHUNDO Mewtwo double legacy with a Side Strike as well as the move Shadow Ball, which I actually not sure if I really like this moveset, to be fair. I'm just sticking to it because it's double legacy. I think if I would now try to use a Mewtwo, I would rather go either for Ice Beam or for the move Focus Blast. Because there are a lot of steel types around, because there are a lot of flying types around, like the Yveltal, which you're going to be able to hit with the Ice Beam. Still wouldn't be able to one-shot it, but still going to do a pretty decent amount of damage here. But now we're going to have here the matchup against the MEWeedle. I am surprised that this team worked out as well as it did, because it doesn't really make too much sense that it worked out that well. We're going to talk a little bit about this later here as well. While we're going to take a look at the first game here. Seeing a Groudon with Dragon Tail is not really ideal. I could have went into my Dialga as well, which would have been able to at least have neutral damage from that move. But yeah, I want to kinda get rid of my Dragonite here a little bit. They're gonna go for the Precious Blades and I will be able to swap out into my Dialga. We see the Kyurem in the back. Actually, it might be a team that I showcased earlier as well, like last month, I mean. With Dragon Tail Groudon, but I'm not sure if it's actually the same team. Could be, don't know. But yeah, this is a very interesting team here. We're going to have Mewtwo in the lead, which is an amazing lead. Honestly, I love this Pokemon a lot during this time. Really can recommend you this Pokemon here. We would have the best buddy ribbon on this Pokemon as well, but we're going to have, of course, our Dialga on there, which you really need to have best buddy. Dialga's, like, if you don't have your Dialga best buddy yet, definitely try to get this one. But here we're going to see the one issue with this team. We're going to have two Dragon types in the back, and we're going to have a Pokemon in the lead that's kind of neutral against Zacian, but we don't really have directly a Zacian answer. So as you're going to see here right now as well in this matchup here right now, Zacian can be a little bit tricky, especially if they're running Play Rough as well as like something like Wild Charge or whatever against us. This is really not ideal here for us, but they're going to let this move go through, allowing us to knock out the Zacian, which is amazing for us right now. But now in comes the Dialga, which is not going to make it way easier either, because we're going to have to go for one Shadow Ball here, swap into our own Dialga. As we're going to get out the Ho-Oh, which is good for us because we have to get out the Ho-Oh. We have to get them a little bit lower. We have to try to farm them all the way down, try to get to the Draco Meteor with us. But nope, we are not able to do this. And like this, we're going to lose the game here, sadly. Because I make a mistake here. I should have went into my what's called Dragonite here immediately, so I can get to the superpower on time, but sadly, as you're going to see here, my opponent going to be able to move already. It's going to be an Iron Head, and we're actually going to be able to still survive that, go for our own superpower, and we can say goodbye to the opponent, as you're going to be able to win this game. This team worked out so well for me as well, so like yeah, I can highly recommend you. This team worked out really well. Got up like around 100 points with this team in like 3 sets, which is really decent for this kind of elo range, because it's way more difficult to climb up rating at this elo range I am right now. I'm close to the leaderboards. There's a different team with a no legendary, which I'm going to showcase very soon on my channel as well, which actually got me onto the leaderboards now as well, which is going to be amazing. So yeah, like I even climbed a little bit higher after this one, which is really cool to see. But yeah, we're going to see here the Mewtwo going for one Side Strike, going to do a lot of damage, but not enough to knock us out. We can go for our own Iron Head here and knock out the opponent. In comes the Dialga, not ideal for us, but we can still go ahead and go into our Mewtwo, try to do some damage against the opponent, going for the Shadow Ball here right now. Going to be able to get them very low, as we can go ahead and go for another Side Strike here, trying to get them low enough that we can farm down with our Dragonite. As I have to shield this. I'm not going to shield this move up. Okay, I should have shielded this move up most likely, but I can try to farm them all the way down with our Dragonite. In comes the Ho-Oh, and they can get the fast move through, which is really annoying because I really would have loved to do at least 4 more fast moves here with my own Dragonite. We have to throw here before they go for the Sacred Fire, because they're definitely going to go for the Sacred Fire, and they have the chance to debuff us here, which wouldn't be ideal, of course. Sacred Fire coming through. We don't get the debuff, which is amazing for us, but we are forced to throw here because I would have got to the Brave Bird in time. But we will be able to now knock out the opponent here, and we can swap out, and this is still going to be enough to knock out the opponent. The swap was really not necessary, but we will still be able to win this game. Next opponent, Excadrill lead. Very decent to see it in the lead here, because I don't want to face it with my backline. Both of my Pokemon in the back are kinda weak to it. Dragonite still can deal with it because they have Superpower and they still survive on Rock Slide, but Dialga really doesn't like to face his Pokemon, so yeah. We're going to go for the Side Strike here straight away, because 2 Side Strikes are enough to knock out the opponent. We will be able to win all the CMP ties, so in any neutral scenario, we will be able to win against Excadrill with our Mewtwo in this kind of way. Could went for the Shadow Ball there as well, I guess. I think that might have been able to knock out the opponent this range, but Have to look at the calcs, to be fair. I'm not 100% sure about this one. We're going to see a Dialga against us. I'm just going to go straight for the Iron Head. I just want to get them low. I don't want to use my shield here at all. They can go ahead and go for the Draco if they want to. And they are going to do exactly that. We will be able to go into our Dragonite now, try to do some damage with that one, and we're going to see the opponent's Dragonite coming in here. This is not going to be ideal for us either, and I think it might be a loss for us here as well. Let's take a look at this one. I think I'm... no, okay, I don't think I really misplayed this one. I don't think there's anything I can do here at this point of time. I can still reach the next Dragon Claw in time, but the opponent's Dialga just has too much health left. I'm going to swap out here into my Mewtwo, and I just don't reach the charge move here, and they can farm me all the way down, so it's going to be a good game there. Next opponent, let's take a look at this one, Zacian lead. Of course, this is exactly where we want to see the Zacian. We have to keep our Mewtwo a little bit healthier as well, because it's going to be our best answer. And they're going to go straight for the charge move. We're going to be the wild shot. They're going to swap out most likely into their Lugia. This is okay for us. We can go ahead and go for one Shadow Ball. This Shadow Ball going to put them around half of their health. I can overfarm a little bit towards a one charge move and swap onto the Sky Attack into our Dialga, which basically takes no damage from that one. And this should allow us to also overfarm here by quite a bit, and now throw the charge move just before they can go for their own Aeroblast, forcing the opponent to shield. I'm going to shield here as well, of course, because I kind of want to still farm them all the way down. But we're going to get out of this matchup basically with one Iron Head start, which is going to be amazing against the opponent's Zacian, which is coming back in here. Iron Head going to do a ton of damage against them if they want to let this move go through, and they do exactly that. Putting them into a range where I can farm them down even with my Dragonite here, which is going to be very decent. So I'm gonna do not that, I'm gonna go ahead and go into my Mewtwo, which is not really ideal because they have a Yveltal in the back. They caught a charge move from me here, which is really bad for us, but we're still going to be able to go for one Dragon Claw with our Dragonite here, going to get the shield from the opponent. We have to let one move go through, but we're going to shield up the first move, which is going to be the Dark Pulse here from the opponent. As they still get to another one here, which is going to be actually the Hurricane. Very strong move, not enough to knock us out. I'm still going to go for one charge move there. I feel like I could have farmed them all the way down, to be fair. But it doesn't really matter, because we're still going to be able to reach another charge move in time against the opponent's Zacian, allowing us to knock them out and win us this game. Let's take a look at the next game. We're going to see the Mewtwo against Zacian again in the lead. Very decent for us. A lot of Zacian leads right now. It's definitely a decent matchup for Mewtwo. Side Strike still just hurts so much against the opponent. This should be also a team that is kinda easier to get for most people. I think a lot of people grinded at least those Dialga plus Mewtwo candies, because like a lot of people like those two Pokemon in general. So yeah, very decent Pokemon to get, or like in general, very decent team to get, especially with Dragonite being a C-Type Pokemon. Here we were able to catch the Wild Charge, of course. We are forced to shield now these close combat coming through here from the opponent, but still we were able to at least catch one charge move from the opponent. In comes now, sadly, the Landorus, and I think I misplayed this game a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and have to go, of course, into my Mewtwo, but I think I overfarm a little bit too much here. No, I actually don't. I perfectly throw it at the same time as they get to their charge move, which is nice. Forcing the shield from the opponent, as you see the opponent going for their Stone Edge. I can overfarm by a little bit here, I think, but I overfarm by too much. I thought they would need 5 for the next one, but they only need 4, allowing them to go for another superpower here. Now we have to farm them down with a Dragonite, and there is literally nothing I can do here at this point of time anymore. Think if I went ahead and went for my own charge move, I most likely would have been able to win this game if I knocked them out with my Mewtwo, but like this, it's going to be a tough one, as you're going to see here. I can knock them out here, but they still have their Landorus left. And they're still going to be able to, yeah, get to one Stone Edge here, I feel like. No, they're going to go for the charge move here very fast. I think it's just a superpower. It is just a superpower. It doesn't knock us out. We can farm them down. In comes the Zacian, and the superpower is going to be enough to knock out the opponent. Goodbye there. Dragonite sweeps the entire team there at the end game. That was amazing. Let's take a look at the next game. We're going to see Kyurem in the lead. How do you play this one out? There are several different ways to play this one out. I'm just going to go straight for the Side Strike here, which will allow me to put them into like the yellow health already. And I'm going to let one move go through, swap out into my Dialga immediately here after I get to one Side Strike, because I'm not going to be able to stall this move at least, as you're going to be able to get out the Shadow variant of Lugia. Very interesting Pokemon to face here. Don't know if I like the Shadow variant more than the normal variant. I think the normal variant is a little bit better. We're going to be able to let this move go through. Should have shielded this move up for sure. That was a huge mistake by me. I thought that they would go for the bait here instead, because like for them they could have just went for the bait there instead. But now I basically only have my Dragonite left. They're going to be able to go for one charge move, and at this point of time, this game is kind of over. There's not a lot that I can do at this point of time. Or can I? We're going to see the Groudon in the back. This is basically the only Pokemon I wanted to face in the back that I still would have been able to win against, which is going to be now the Groudon that has literally not a lot that they can do against me. Still going to shield up the first move because Precipice Blade is going to be the most strongest move that they can go against for me there, but like it doesn't matter. Like we're going to be able to win this game here for sure. For first Dragon Claw coming through, they're most likely going to shield this move up here as well. But the next one going to do enough damage to put them into farm down range. Kyurem is in farm down range. I can still take a charge move, even a Precipice Blade by the opponent's Groudon. And this is looking very juicy for us. As we're going to see here, we can farm them all the way down. In comes the Groudon and we can knock them out as well. Next opponent, let's take a look at this one. We're going to see a Dialga in the lead. Very, very fine for us. We're going to be able to go ahead and go for some baits here. We're going to try to bait, of course, the potential of Focus Blast against the opponent. People that know me and people that know my video knows, of course, that they're going to run Shadow Ball, but not everybody watches me, of course. How could they? But this is, of course, going to be interesting for us. We're going to be able to go for another Shadow Ball against the opponent. They're going to shield this move up now, and we can go ahead and go into our own Dialga. We're going to have to shield this one up as well. But basically, Dialga with energy forces a shield against no matter what is coming in anyway. So, like, it's going to be fine for us here. In comes the Mewtwo. We can go for the Iron Head here. They're most likely going to shield this move up, and we're going to get back our shield, which is really, really nice for us. In comes the Shadow Ball, going to not knock us out, but we just barely miss out on getting to the next charge move. I have to try to go for the Side Strike and we CMP tie and win the CMP tie against the opponent. Going to be able to now get them super, super low, which is amazing for us. Side Strike coming through from the opponent as well, and we can farm them down with our Dragonite. Can Dragonite sweep again? We see a Giratina coming in here. If they have Dragon Pulse, this might be a little bit tricky. I think they just one-shot us with that one, and I see a lot of them recently with Dragon Pulse for whatever reason. But if they have Shadow Ball, we still should be able to survive that one. It is Shadow Ball coming through here, Dialga is coming through here, and Dragonite is doing it again. Dragonite is such a good sweeper in the current meta right now. Honestly, such a cool Pokemon. I just love this Pokemon. Honestly, it's so underrated. I think we battled the same opponent before in this video as well. This is definitely not the same battle though. Like, unlike when people send me battles, there's literally zero chance of having 2 times the same battle in there for me. So I feel like I saw this name already earlier, so I'm mostly battling the same person again, which is kind of funny. This time around they have also the Zacian again. I'm pretty sure I saw the name earlier already. But we see another Wild Charge coming through. I'm going to try to catch the move again, and this worked out again. I feel like we did the same stuff against the same opponent before. We're going to see the Landorus coming back in again. I feel like this is kind of deja vu experience here. I think we had the same stuff happening for us before. Superpower coming through, we can go back into our Mewtwo. And I think I mess up against this opponent though. I think here I mess up, right? Yeah, I didn't expect that the opponent would already be at a Stone Edge at this point of time. I still can take one, but it's still not really ideal. Can overfarm to 99 energy, which is of course the best that I can do here. Going to be able to knock out the opponent there. Let's take a look what's coming in. It's coming in the Yveltal. Yeah, I feel like we had the same matchup before, but now the opponent going to be able to have a better matchup against me. As you're going to see here that they can go ahead and go for one charge move, but the Zacian is just not in range yet. Like, the Zacian going to have a great time against me. I can go for one Dragon Claw here, trying to force a shield from the opponent, but it's just not really in a range for me right now to win this game. I don't know if I didn't go for the Side Strike, if I could have won this game. No, I don't think so. They're gonna swap out here. I had to overfarm by a little bit. I would have been able to knock them out there. I think there was nothing that I can do there in order to win this game, but still, very good game there. I feel like this was the same that we had before. Sir Panic a lot. We know them as well as a good streamer. Also, look at their t-shirt there. They won a regional before. Let's take a look if we can beat someone who won a regional before. I only got 3rd in a regional, so I guess they have something ahead of me here. We're going to be able to go for one Side Strike, gonna get the shield from the opponent here. Now I'm gonna go straight for the Shadow Ball. We both have most likely 15 attack variants of the Mewtwo in the lead. Going to get the shield again from the opponent, which is not really ideal for us, because I wanted to knock them out with that one. And they're just gonna go for the Side Strike bait again, forcing us to swap out now onto their Shadow Ball here, which is going to be very fine for us, onto our Dialga. They're gonna go into their own Dialga, so we have basically a similar team. Still get to another charge move here, which is really ideal for me, as this Iron Head is not going to do enough damage to knock them out. But I can go back into my Mewtwo, go for one fast move, go for the Side Strike, and knock them out with that one now. Their own Mewtwo should be kind of energy dry. Their Dialga is dead now. It's going to be a Ho-Oh coming in here right now. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to be forced to swap out now after this one. but they still have basically a charge move stored here right now. They're gonna go ahead and go for another fast move and swap into their own Mewtwo. This is ideal for us, because Mewtwo shouldn't be able to realign here, as they already threw one charge move prior. I know that they don't have Ice Beam, I know that I can survive a charge move here and they shouldn't get to another one. Forcing the opponent now to throw against me with their Ho-Oh, and we are 2 fast moves away for another Side Strike, which will be in the animation of one Incinerate, winning us this final game of this video. This team was so much fun to play. As you saw here as well, I battled a lot of really good opponents and had great times with this one, so highly recommend you this team if you want to play it out. It's a little bit tricky against Zacian sometimes, but it worked out well for me. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it. Otherwise, you can see here 2 videos on my screen as well as coaching, which you could also book if you want to, if you need some help for the final push for the season. But otherwise, it's going to be it for the video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.